I'm Emily, and this is
Alan.
And we're going to have the best time together today. I'm excited. Are you excited?
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hey, today's going to be, we're going to follow on the theme of talking about the shows we do in schools, but don't worry, we're still going to do heaps of experiments. And obviously at the end, there's going to be...
Joke of a day. Now, for you that don't know, we are Science in a Van. We travel all over New Zealand, going into schools and doing science shows. And they are fantastic live shows full of fantastic demos. We blow giant bubbles and talk about mixtures. We fire rubber chickens on water rockets, and we talk about forces. So our shows are fantastic, lots of fun, and very, very exciting. We've been going since 2011, and we set up in reaction to the need of teaching and being able to teach science in schools.
Well, Alan.
Yep.
I'm going to start the show excitingly.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to pull this tablecloth off the table.
No!
Oh, come on.
I'm scared.
Is it your prediction?
That is my prediction. So my prediction is you're going to pull the tablecloth, make a mess, and that teapot's going to fly into my head.
No, Alan, I'm glad you're thinking like a scientist, making predictions. But I kind of hope your prediction doesn't turn out because we're kind of live, and that would be a bit sad.
Yep.
So I'm just going to do it. You can make your predictions where you're watching from. So I'm going to pull the tablecloth, and we'll see what happens.
I'm not feeling good about this.
You're not?
No.
Okay. Are you ready to make some observations? Hopefully it's not a teapot going into Alan's head. Okay, are you ready? Yep. Give me a countdown, Alan.
3, 2, 1. Oh! Emily, that is amazing.
I know,
will you
right?
be able to teach everyone how to do that?
Totally will. Stay tuned. We're going to do lots of fun stuff in this video. We will be teaching you, or recapping that for you, actually.
Yep.
We're also going to be helping you talk about forces. So you're going to get heaps of vocab. You're going to be able to lead discussions and be involved in discussions. We're going to give you heaps of experiments you can do at home. We're going to show you some of the demos we do in our science shows. And we're going to have heaps of fun.
Cool. Excellent.
Why are you wearing that hat?
Well, I'm wearing this hat for 2 reasons. First of all, safety from that, because I was generally terrified.
That's a good idea.
But also, this is one of the amazing costumes that Emily actually made this, which is it's a beautiful thing. And Emily made this for our storytelling, Billy Goats Gruff.
Okay.
And Billy Goats Gruff is a great storytelling for the years 1 to 3. And there's lots of exciting demos doing with forces and physics. It is a bit of a pantomime.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh, yes, it is. See what we did there?
I saw it. I saw that.
That was beautiful.
I thought that was good.
So your students will be absolutely enthralled with watching the crafty goats trick the smelly troll, and they use their knowledge of forces to do it. And by the end of the show, your students will be able to talk about gravity, friction, and have an understanding that nothing moves unless a force makes it. So a force needs to be acting on an object. So that's really great fun in our Billy Goats Gruff storytelling, all about forces for years 1 to 3. Emily?
What?
Why do you have a rubber chicken?
Don't play dumb, Alan. You know exactly who this is. Who is it?
This is Space Chick Steve.
It is Space Chick Steve. If you've ever seen our Move It show, if you're years 4 to 8, you might have seen this show. It's all about forces as well, but it's next level. We talk about the Newton's 3 laws of motion and quite in depth, and we're actually going to do that today, so you have a better understanding about it. And this little fella, he ends up flying across the school wall because we use what we've learned. So he flies across the stage, and he's a very popular rubber chicken. And you know why people remember him, Alan?
No, I don't know.
Because he's a massive hit with the chicks.
Boom. And that's not even the joke of the day.
I know, but it's good.
Like Emily says, Billy Goats Gruff and our show Move It is all about forces. And in all of them, we refer to the 3 laws of motion. Now, the 3 laws of motion were written by a fellow called Sir Isaac Newton, and I'm going to use my clipboard so I get the dates right here.
I love a clipboard.
So, Sir Isaac Newton wrote the 3 laws of motion in a document called The Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy.
Woo!
In 1687.
1687. Were you alive then?
No, I wasn't there. So you might want to work out how long ago that was. 1687. Now, in today's terms, we would refer to Sir Isaac Newton as a scientist or a physicist. But those kind of terms did not exist until 1833.
1833. I'll stop there.
Emily,
Yeah.
in his lifetime, when he was working, he would have been known as a natural philosopher.
I actually really like that.
Well, I'm
Natural, like not a scientist, a natural philosopher. So like just thinking about the world. I love that.
now we
I wanna be that.
do get. That's one of the questions we get asked. Are we scientists? I might say no. We're natural philosophers. And I look forward to putting that down on a job description as well. There we go.
When you enroll to vote, maybe you could put that down in your occupation. Anyway,
Maybe
I digress.
So Isaac Newton's 3 laws of motion was written way back in 1687. They are the foundations of science as we know it today, and they have been interpreted and translated in many forms and many ways. And we have our own interpretation of them to use as a springboard into getting knowledge about this huge subject. So, the 3 laws of motion, we're going to go through them for you very quickly now with some demos and some ideas that might be able to help you. So, behind Emily,
Ellen. I'm just so happy. Something I prepared earlier.
There we go. That's beautiful.
I wonder if it'll be backwards to them. That's exciting. Carry on.
So, law 1. To make something move, there needs to be a force applied. So law 1 kind of talks about a few things at once. So we've just broken it down. So something won't start moving unless a force is applied. And we saw that with the tablecloth trick. Now, if we look, nothing's moving at this moment in time. Nothing is moving at this moment in time. I'm going to gather up the tablecloth like so, and I'm going to apply force. I'm going to pull the tablecloth because all forces work in push and pulls. So nothing's going to move until I apply a force. 3, 2, 1. There we go. And I applied a force to the tablecloth, so the tablecloth moved. But if we notice, the force was not transferred to the cups or the teapot, so that stayed where it is. So something will not start moving unless a force makes it.
Whoa.
My friends at home and teachers, this is a great time to explore something like kicking a football. When does the ball move? When we apply force to it. And we can move on to the second part of the first law, which says that something will carry on moving until a force makes it change. So when we kick the ball, we apply force to it, but does the ball carry on forever?
Not when I
or does it change direction, and why? So there's a lot for you to explore there.
Alan,
Yep.
we are already up to, whoa, throwing things around.
Yep.
Law number 2. If something is going to move or it's already moving depends on 2 things: the amount of force acting on it and its mass. So this is like, it's actually really easy. I like to think about it like every other New Zealander. No, I'm not even really into rugby, but it is like a rugby scrum, okay? So if you imagine the All Blacks, right? Actually, I might use your fist. Can you be the All Blacks?
Yep.
Okay, this is the All Blacks side of the scrum. They're huge, all right? They've got a lot of force. They are ready to push. And imagine if they were up against the primary school team, all right?
Yep.
So that is quite different, isn't it? Alan, have you met any of the All Blacks?
Yep. I've actually been their security guard.
It's a hilarious story that we'll talk about another day. We protected the All Blacks. Anyway, so the All Blacks are massive, okay? Huge. And if you think about it, they've got a lot of force. So if the All Blacks push in that scrum against the primary school team, we all know who's going to be the biggest force, right? But it's not just about force, it's also about mass. Things with less mass are easier to move. Like, we all know this, right? Big, heavy things, it's really, really hard work. You need a lot of force. And that is law 2.
So, the All Blacks versus a primary school or a kindy school sounds very unfair to
Very
me.
unfair.
But let's move on to the third law of motion.
So the third law of motion, when a force acts in one direction, there is a force acting in the opposite direction.
So, Emily, listen to this question very carefully. I'm going to ask you to make a prediction, but we need to listen very carefully because it might be slightly different to what you expect. When I let go of this balloon, which way is the air? Which way is the air inside the balloon going to travel? Which way is the air going to travel?
The air.
The air inside the balloon. Which way is it going to travel?
I reckon the air is going to come up that way.
So your prediction is the air is going to move downwards.
Are you with me?
Which way is the balloon going to go?
I think the balloon will go in the opposite direction.
Which is
up.
Fantastic. Beautiful work. So Emily's made some predictions. We're now going to test it out and observe what's going to happen. So here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh. Well, there we go. Move. So, it didn't quite go up, but it definitely went.
Emily, which way did the air go?
Well, I actually felt some of the air. It kind of went that way.
Which way did the balloon go?
It went that way.
There we go. Excellent. Shame we're not shooting this in 3D. That would have been awesome.
And kind of terrifying. Yep.
So, but it still did what we needed to do. The air travelled in this direction with a force, and the balloon moved in that direction with just as much force. So when there's a force in one direction, there is as much force in the opposite direction.
And we often think of science like a topic or a subject, but, you know, science is just a way of explaining the world around you, and you can do science all the time. Like, next time you're swimming, think about forces, right? So I'm swimming. I'm pushing the water which way, Ellen?
You're pushing the water that way.
And which way am I going?
You're going that way.
There's always a force in both directions.
There we go. So, now it's time for a little bit of mansplaining. I'm going to mansplain the difference between mass, volume, and weight. So, here we have Steve. Now, mass. Mass is how much of something is made up of. So Steve is made up of rubber. That is his mass. Steve is made up of rubber. That is his mass. You watching, you are made up of bones and squidgy stuff. That is your mass. How much room you take up, Emily, is your volume.
Lots of room.
So this is Steve's volume here. Okay, so mass is what you are made up of. Volume is how much room that mass takes up.
Yeah.
Now, weight.
Wait for it.
Weight. Weight.
Oh, wait.
Weight. Yeah, different spelling.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Not weight.
I
weight.
knew that. I was just joking around.
Weight is actually created by pressure, and it's a measurement of pressure which is created by the effect of gravity on the mass. Yep. So gravity is pulling Steve down to the ground. That creates pressure, and that is what we read as weight.
Got it. Not like weight.
No.
Like weight.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Lots of good language.
Well, that's good because we are talking about vocab. When you do forces at school or if you're talking about at home, there's heaps of great words we can use. Alan's just talked about weight, mass, and volume. We've talked about pushing and pulling.
Yeah.
There's lots of different types of forces. So we've probably all heard of gravity. Gravity pulls things to the ground. But another really important force is friction. So friction happens when surfaces rub together. So you can all try this. Rub your hands together. It's actually quite nice. It's a bit cold today.
Yeah, I know. It's cold in the shed.
Yeah. So I call it the grippy force, but don't put that in an exam. It's called friction, okay? But it does help slow things down, okay? It's that rubbing force, that gripping force, and it's called friction. So we've got a bit of extra content for you. We don't do this in our shows, but it's kind of a cool activity. Alan's rustled this up in the garage. It'd be really cool if you could make one of your own. It doesn't have to look like this one, but we just had this piece of wood lying around. So this is going to help us talk about friction, and it's going to help us talk about fair testing. It's kind of a toy, but it's also a science demonstration, to be honest.
It's great fun. It's one of those demos that you'll love playing with, trying different variables. But hang on, we're getting ahead of us.
We are.
First of all, you need a board, and on the board I've got 3 lanes. Each lane is covered in a different material. So what's this, Emily? What did that feel like?
I wasn't really prepared for that, even though I knew. It's sandpaper. It's quite fine sandpaper, to be fair. And then we've got the wood. And then I recognise this because it's from a hoodie that I used to own. And now it's on a science demonstration.
Yeah, it's on a science
I'm sure
demo.
all the teachers can relate to that.
There we go. Because, you don't want to use all those wonderful budgets you're given to by your school, do you?
No.
So,
anyway.
So we've got 3 different materials and 3 different lanes. We've also got 3...
These are pretty, by the way.
...bits of wood. And these pieces of wood are all the same. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the piece of wood up this end, leaving this end down. So I tilt the piece of wood, and we're going to see what happens. What's happening?
Wait.
Yeah, wait.
I could say that all day. The thing is, Alan, we're thinking like scientists. And before you do anything, you always have to make a prediction. You have to make a guess before you do it, even if you don't know what's going to happen. So if you're watching, maybe you can make a prediction too. These are numbered 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Which one's going to hit the end first? Are they going to move at all?
Yeah.
Make some predictions.
Cool. Excellent. So Emily's quite right. We need to follow the scientific process in everything we do. We need to make a prediction, a guess of what's going to happen. We need to test it, try it out, and we need to make an observation. We need to watch what's going to happen. Is Steve with that?
He's made a prediction.
He's made a prediction. What's your prediction, Steve?
He's wondering if lunch will be right after this. I don't think that's really where we're going, but it's good you're thinking. I'm just going to put him
But
down
it is dumplings for lunch, so I understand Steve's excitement. There we go. So here we go, my friends. So make your predictions. And we're going to test it out and observe what's going to happen.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. It's going to be 1, 2, or 3. Is anything going to happen?
I don't know. Hopefully something will happen. I'm watching it on the screen, actually. Oh, number 2, number 1, number 3. Boat number 3, come in. Oh my gosh, Ellen, keep going. I didn't predict that at all. That's hilarious.
So, my friends, there you saw a difference in how they reacted, and you can now start talking about what's happened. And as you talk about what's happened, start using that vocab we talk about. With this, you can talk about friction. Was friction happening more on one object than the other, or was one acting less with friction? Was gravity involved? Was gravity the same all the way through, or did gravity change and stuff like that? So these are all conversations you can have. The other thing that you can bring into this is fair testing. Fair testing. So I've got one disc here with sandpaper on the back, and this disc here is just plain wood. Would it be fair to compare these two together? If so, why? If not, why not? There. So there's a lot you can do with this, and I just want to stress something. Oh, this piece of wood just so happened to be over there 2 days ago. The roll of sandpaper was in the shed. This old jumper was laying around, and these were actually leftover things from the back of our van when I made tether points for that. So
you use what you got, right?
You use what you've got. And I'm kind of lucky here, but any corrugated cardboard we've made these out of before, and you just find material laying around. And you can try lots of different materials.
And the thing is, this is pretty basic in a way. If you've got a group that's older, or you simply want a better challenge for people in your classroom or at home, you can make it more challenging. You can make it bigger. You can make the ramp different. Thinking all the time, how do I make this fair? Is it going to be the same for each object? You don't have to use blocks of wood. You might have toy cars that you can use. But if I had 3 cars I was testing, would they have to be the same to make it fair, or could I just use any 3 cars that I've got lying around?
Interesting.
I thought so too. Also, you could think about different materials. So material science is massive. So you can think about the different materials you could use. You could actually pinpoint and talk about where the forces are in action. Alan already mentioned gravity.
Yeah.
There's friction. What about air resistance? What about things like that? Depends how big the objects are. I'm getting a bit carried away, but you can make this really, really massive. Another great question is, which we have not even begun to think about, collecting data is a massive thing in science. How would we collect data from an experiment like this? What are the variables? And as we keep on saying, you've just got to keep asking yourself, is it fair?
Is it
fair? There's lots of things that aren't fair, but you can make science experiments fair. Yay.
So there's a lot of information there. Also a real sort of show of the content we cover in our shows with Billy Goats Gruff and Move It. So, you know, we can use goats to talk about forces. We can use rubber chickens to talk about forces. But Emily.
Yes.
Surely it's time we teach our wonderful viewers and help our viewers out to create this fantastic trick.
I'm totally going to talk you through it. Some of you might already know this already, but it doesn't hurt to have a refresher. So there's a couple of things we need to really think about, okay?
All right, okay.
So number 1, feel that material, Alan.
Yep, okay. Yep, cool.
It's really slippery and smooth, isn't it?
Cool. Excellent. Okay. Yep, that's slippery and smooth. So shall I put it on the table?
Yes, you should.
Yep, so I can do this. There we go.
Yeah, you do it.
So I'll put it on the table.
I can understand your patience
Emily,
now.
does this need to be soft and smooth?
It needs to be quite slippery, and that's because of that grippy force called friction. If you used a piece of carpet, things might turn out differently. Please do that and film it and send it in.
Should I hem this edge?
Well, you could if you wanted to, Alan. I know you love a bit of sewing, but if you have any sort of bump here, have a think about what that's going to do when you apply it. Yeah, okay?
Yeah, cool, cool. And I've not hung it over the edge. You might just want to make note of that. There.
If you kind of want to make it look like you're more clever, you can put it right up to the edge. But, yeah. You can experiment with hanging it over, but I wouldn't recommend it.
What should I do with these?
Well, those go right on the edge at the end.
So close to the end of the cloth.
Yeah, I think that's wise.
And sort of to the edge of your table helps as well.
And these aren't super light. They're not super heavy. And they're also not super breakable. Just saying. Okay, so a little bit of weight to them is helpful. And they've got smooth bottoms, Alan.
Okay, smooth bottom.
Just saying, I got to say bottoms. But they do have smooth bottoms, and that's all to do with that rubbing force called friction. And, yeah, let's have the teapot.
The teapot?
Yeah, let's have the teapot.
Not the teapot.
Put the teapot, as you call it, on the table as well. Now,
trying to create drama.
Yeah, so much drama in our lives. Anywho, Alan, are you nearly ready?
Yep, I'm nearly ready. So
there's one thing we need to tell people about as well.
Gather up the tablecloth.
Yeah, so notice how he hasn't started from the bottom. Because the thing is, you're going to pull straight down, remember? Don't, like, throw it up in the air or try and be clever.
Yep.
You're going to go straight down. What's this? What's happening here?
I'm trying to just, yeah, anyway.
I did not predict that. All right. I have faith in you, Alan.
I'm glad
I'm not sure the people at home do, but we'll find out in the comments. I'm going to give you a countdown and you're going to do amazing things.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? We're going
3, 2, 1. Oh, you pause there for a minute.
Yay!
I can just hear everybody clapping.
Hey, thank you. So, Emily, we need to lay the tablecloth out.
Yeah.
So it's close to the edge.
And smooth.
It needs to be soft and smooth. We put the cups near the end and close to the edge. We can put the teapot there just for fun.
Yeah.
We gather the tablecloth up and it's one quick pull straight down and bosh, that's it. So fantastic, Emily. again, if you do this in your classrooms or at home or down at the park or at grandma's, any videos, any photos of you doing it, share on our Facebook page. That'd be fantastic.
And you can, like, you know, especially if you're outside, you can experiment, put more stuff on. You know, we just don't want to smash everything in our shed. But it'll be really interesting to see how many things you've got on. And I think I've mentioned this before. There's some great YouTube videos of other people doing this very badly. And if you want to use those videos in your classroom to talk about why, talking about friction, I mean, it's great. I love it. There's a lot of disasters. It makes me happy. I'm going to move on now because we are at the end of our show. We've taught you a lot about forces, hopefully. And we've told you a little bit about the shows we do in schools, Move It and Billy Goats Gruff. But Science in a Van Live would not be the same without Joke of the Day.
Emily.
Oh gosh, I'm ready.
Emily, did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut? Did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut?
In all honesty, I have never heard about the claustrophobic astronaut.
Well, the claustrophobic astronaut needed a little space.
That's very good. If you don't know what claustrophobic is, that's your word of the day. Go look that up.
It's
that
only
is a very
Google
good joke.
way.
I love it. Okay, so that was Joke of the Day. This is Science in a Van Live. We're going to have like a minute pause and we'll go to your comments.
And remember, my friends, be like a proton and stay positive.
That's very good too. You're on fire today. All right. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm just going to go on to our Science in a Van Facebook page.
Yep.
One moment, please.
So we've actually finished the show now. If you're just here to watch the content, that's cool. If you're waiting for a shout out or just hang out with us, that is perfectly fine as well. We're taking the shout outs through our Facebook page.
We are.
And, you're looking at Science in a Van Live as well. So we're going to be here for a little while longer. Just chatting and hanging out and responding to the comments we've already got. It's fantastic to do this with you all. I kind of want to say see you all, but that's a bit wrong. But you know what I mean.
It kind of feels like we're seeing you.
It's just really nice to be able to keep doing what we're doing in the same but different way, if that makes sense. But if you want to know more about what we do in schools and how we do it, please visit our website, which is www.scienceinthevan.co.nz. Don't be afraid to email us. Don't be afraid to hook up with us on Facebook or YouTube. If you're watching this live or later on YouTube and you've not subscribed, please, my friends, just pop a little click on the subscribe. That'd be fantastic because it's getting exciting now. We can really start pushing the YouTube stuff forward and creating more content at home and while we're out and about as well.
I've got some really nice shout outs. I'm going to read some of them here, but because I went off the feed and back again, I can't see them all. So I'm going to have to go behind the camera and read the others. I'm so sorry. Really nice one from my old friends from school, the Morrisons. They say we're rocking out. That's really encouraging. Honestly, our friends are so nice. Massive shout out to Jada and Odette.
Hey, hi guys.
If you look at our Facebook page, they delivered some face masks to us the other day and it was really awesome. And
was that absolutely seamless contact delivery?
Seamless as well.
Yeah,
that's good. That was good. Yeah, it was seamless as. And also keep an eye out on our Facebook page. We're working with those two little scientists. And we're going to be doing some interviews with them. I'm quite excited about that.
There you go.
Cockle Bay School.
Hey, hello,
watching. Mum's saying, where are the masks you got given? That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Do you want to go and grab one?
They're on our Facebook page.
Oh, that's
stuff.
true.
Yeah.
I'm going to go grab one.
Shall I go grab one?
Yeah, go and grab one. Hi, Katie. Yeah, we love Steve as well. Also, oh my gosh, it's so good. So many people watching. It's really, really nice. Okay, this is really awful. I'm gonna go behind the camera to read the other comments. So, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Hang on a minute. Maybe I'll pick it up. Oh my gosh. Here we go. I'm still here. Alan's gone to get the mask. I am doing this. Oh, Alan's
I
back.
couldn't find them.
Oh, you couldn't find. Oh, you eat.
Oh, my glasses are steamed up. Where everyone's gone.
They're so good.
Check these out, my friend. So these are made by our friends Odette and Jada, and yeah, they're sciencey mask. How fantastic is that material? So lots of fun, and it was really cool that they delivered these. And like a lot of you, one thing that's been I'm going to take this off because my glasses are steaming up. I'm back. Yeah. One thing that is really nice is like we think that, you know, when things change, it's like, oh, am I going to see my friends? Am I going to do this? Or am I going to be able to do this? And we've made new friends, which is great. Cool. And crazy things are happening, like people delivering masks. We've had a lot of you comment and like us for other things, and we really do appreciate it. And it is really exciting.
So I'm kind of behind the wrong side of the camera. Can you give me a heart emoji on Facebook if you can still hear me? I don't know if they can hear me. There's usually a bit of a delay, eh? I'm not sure. Anyway, Willow's family, hopefully you can hear me. Elizabeth, oh my gosh. Olivia, Isabel and Emily, what a great name, in Auckland are watching. So technically, there's 3 extra people watching, which I totally agree with.
Excellent.
Big hello to Adam and Jake, who've tuned in from Auckland. Oh, they're part of Cockle Bay School, and the teacher sent the link to them. That makes me really happy. Cool.
So Adam and Jake, you fit perfectly into that category. If the YouTube account that you're watching this through, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, that would be great. And there'll be many people like you possibly watching for the first time. Nice work, Cockle Bay. Big shout out to the teachers.
No surprise. Annalie and Liesl are watching from Otahu. And their amazing parents.
Cool.
Our good friend Rachel is watching us. She's a teacher as well, so appreciate you, Rachel. Katie's celebrating. We finally got to 1,000 subscribers.
Is that Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Katie.
Katie's awesome because Katie's really kind. She always comments on Science in a Van. She also is a trained and experienced actor and stuff, and she actually gives us little bits of feedback as well at the end of our shows, which is really good. And what I like about it is it's really positive and constructive stuff, and it's really nice that she uses that skill and knowledge she's got to help us out as well. So we really appreciate that.
Bronwyn Mo.
Hey, Bronwyn Mo.
Finally caught it live. Awesome.
Excellent. Fantastic. And Bronwyn Mo, it's been an interesting week for you, and we appreciate you tuning in.
One of my favourite Mo's.
There we go.
Tara has said Room 8 from Henderson Primary School are watching.
Room 8, Henderson Primary School. Awesome.
Awesome as. So I'm just going through. Oh my gosh. Odette's made an observation that she was born in 2011.
Oh my
gosh. Thanks, Odette. Trying to make us feel old. Loving your work, but I see where you're going.
Also kind of worries me that we're kind of calling on some of Odette's expertise to help us out as well. So, you know, how wonderful is that? It's great. It's just really awesome.
So I'm going to embarrass myself now because I'm not going to pronounce somebody's name right. And I know that's really, really important. Yukalisi Kuni, I apologize. You can send me a message to tell me how to pronounce your name properly because I hate getting people's names right. But you've been really encouraging and we really appreciate you. Angelina says hi. Oh, actually, she's replying to somebody else she knows on the stream. That's really funny. And just lots of nice comments. Oh, Melinda Street. Oh, hello. Excellent. I'm just reading. Lots of people made predictions. I think. Oh, your mate Clark's watching, Alan.
Hey, hi Clark. How you going? Down in Palmerston, or up in down in Palmerston North. There we go. Good to see you. A fantastic filmmaker, and he's done some really cool documentary style videos just off his own back. through things that have been happening in his neighbourhood. So pretty awesome guy, really cool.
Odette and Jay have friends with them today, actually. Emma, Fraser, and Baby are watching.
Oh my days.
It's so good.
Well, I'm surprised Fabio ain't playing with that amazing mud pit, but that's a different story.
And Nana Rachel is watching too.
Hello, Nana Rachel. How are you?
And our mum says she's glad we're back.
Back. We're back in the shed of the 275, beautiful South Auckland.
I'm back. Sorry.
Cool.
I'm feeling the love. I must admit.
I'm also feeling a bit peckish.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit peckish. I think we're going to go and have lunch. But thank you so much for joining us. We really, really, really appreciate it. We've really enjoyed doing these Science Around Lives, and I think we're going to do more. So we're going to invest in some proper sound equipment. So if you know anything about that, message us because we're not sure what to buy. It's very exciting. So
also keep track on our Facebook. I'm not too sure how we're going to do this. So keep track on our Facebook page, and we'll try and give a 45-minute warning before we do the Mentos and Fizz experiment, once we get the okay that we can go live on our phones from YouTube on our phones. So at the moment,
hopefully in the next 24 hours.
All through our computer, which reduces us down to what we can and can't do. But hopefully, once we get the go-ahead, we can get the phone outside, set up and do a live video, and we'll give a little preempt to that on Facebook.
Oh, I do love a bit of a preempt, Alan.
Yeah,
I do.
And again, if you subscribe, you'll get the alert that we've gone YouTube live.
Yeah, that's true.
And we'll probably just do a little friendly chat before we actually do the experiment. So we'll give you like a 5-minute run-in to the experiment, which will be a bit of a tease. But also give you a chance to get. So we'll try and warn you on Facebook, and we'll do a little run-in to the experiment, and then we get on with it. Because I really want as many people to watch, because it is a bit of a gift from us to you for helping us out, getting up to 1,000. Speaking
of people that help us, I think we should put on Sliding and Flying again from our amazing friends Grant and Reese, who wrote our theme song. Never in a million years thought I'd have a theme song. Thank you for making my dreams come true. All right. See you next time. We're going to do another one next week sometime. We'll let you know.
Yeah.